Okay, so after Andreas, we have the last debate, which is going to be, if you were worried about the temperature in the room, it's going to be now even heavily increase the temperature, because the next debate promised to be one of the most epic debates since the start of the debates in the Postgres community, which means since the previous one. Yes. Okay. So I will let the floor to Floor.
That's just painful, dude. All right, I want to invite my debaters on stage with me, if they feel like it. It'd be great. Luigi, Gianni, Mayuresh, and Guy, please join me on stage. And just to reiterate how seriously we take feedback, I got some feedback after the last debate, so I'm going to implement it immediately. Just before we get started, I would like to have a little show of hands. Auto-tuning as a topic. Anyone in favor, please raise your hand. We love auto-tuning. Yes, yes, yes. Anyone who's just like, nope, not for me, not for my data. Okay. This is not a 50-50 split. I'm just gonna say it as I see it. All right, so auto-tuning brings a lot of advantages to the database performance and maintenance. It can save a DBA hours of manual work, and it outperforms all of us fallible humans. But who can guarantee that algorithms have been optimized for your particular use case and won't create extra overhead? How will you onboard new DBAs into your automation scheme and make sure that they understand the possible side effects? Now that we had a quick temperature check of the room, let's see if our participants can change your mind. Our participants today, thank you for putting that timer there, are Dr. Luigi Nardi, who's the founder and CEO of DBTune. Maybe he has some skin in the game there. Prior to DBTune, he was a professor in AI at the Lund University in Sweden and part of the research staff at Stanford University in California. Oof. He worked on auto-tuning since 2007. And in our briefing call, because we had a short briefing call so that they could get to know each other a little bit better, Luigi did mention that there are a couple of things that he wouldn't auto-tune today. So I feel like he's already warming up to it. It depends somewhere in this debate. Then we have Gianni, who is the Global VP and Practice Lead High Availability at EDB. And our participants that are not very keen on handling control to an agent are Mayuresh, who is a database specialist at Veeam, and Guy, senior database architect, technical lead, and partner at Zebanza, a man, in his own words, who doesn't like any surprises. Maybe understanding why he doesn't like auto-tuning. All right, all participants have the opportunity to make their opening statements, and they shouldn't use more than 2 minutes. And I want to start with our participants that are opposed. So, Mayuresh.
Thank you. So my first opposition is that ChatGPT lies. LLMs are probabilistic, and databases are supposed to be source of truth. If you use LLM to tune your queries, change your functions, you will not have the same results that end users expect. So you're distorting truth. AI has no concept of truth. And the second problem is end users, they require stable and predictable performance. The end users care more about having same performance day in, day out, rather than having few percentage of improvements. With LLMs, and if we put this in optimizer, if our optimizer becomes intelligent to do runtime changes in, say, it takes hash join, nested loop, merge join whenever it wants, we already have evidence that it doesn't work out, because if in case of Oracle, we have adaptive optimizer, and if you Google Oracle optimizer adaptive plans, second link will say disable for performance. That's my.
Excellent, excellent. Let's hear from Guy.
Okay, some very good arguments there, because I'm agree with him. So I have to not invent other ones because I still have some other ones. First of all, auto-tuning. I believe in tuning, don't get me wrong, but I still want to have the control, or at least someone has to decide what we can tune and not automatically some software, because most of the time it's software, it's developed, and he's a very smart guy, but he said, I'm not going to tune everything yet. So that's very wise. So not everything tuned yet. That's very wise. So, but anyway, most of the time the software doesn't know overall everything about your system, because it's about your system. And finally, the end users, they will see, and yeah, they have to work with the system. Yeah, and I don't like surprises. That was one of my sentence that I used in the meeting. And also the users didn't want any surprises. They expect to have the same kind of reaction workload that they can have like the day before. Yeah. So, and also the lack of awareness, meaning, for example, is there a new release of the software that was installed by the development team? Probably the queries will be not the same like the day before, and they will be working differently. Maybe better, let's hope so, that they tuned on the pre-production or the acceptance and whatever. Yeah, but most of the time there is a query that is not performed like before. And then the tuning has to be done again. So auto-tuning has to work again. So on Monday, it will work not good, maybe on Tuesday, maybe on Wednesday, and the end of the week, the auto-tuning did its work. So I want to be before there. Yeah, I want to see and work together with the developers and say, let's test your software also with stress tests or whatever tests before you put it in production. So that's the reason I don't want any surprises. So also the extra workload, I don't know exactly because I worked with software before. Yeah, the extra workload, machine learning, whatever, you need an extra software, you have to install it, you have to maintain it and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really believe yet that there is auto-tuning software yet available that can do very, very smart things already. So I think we still need control. Or at least someone should decide, a human being with the right knowledge should decide what kind of modifications we should do on the database settings.
Excellent. Thank you, Guy, for your team. Oh.
All right. So first of all, I would like to talk about fundamentals. Not what's here now or in a day. I would like to talk about like the fundamentals of this. Can we actually solve this problem in a fundamental way? Okay. So first of all, when I do tuning, when I talk about tuning, I talk about, usually I prefer to think about some KPIs, key performance indicators, that need to be defined, probably with some stakeholders. And these KPIs can be things like one query ID, for the query response time of the query ID, or maybe the average of all the query IDs that you have, but also things like safety, like things like, for example, don't use more than X% of memory, otherwise you will damage the machine, right? So these are KPIs that need to be defined somewhere. And for me, that's the input of an auto-tuning system, okay? Second of all, I would like to talk about AI, maybe an automation, but I don't want to really talk about AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence, which is what I think has been described a minute ago. So an auto-tuning system for Postgres doesn't need to speak English. Maybe. It needs to speak Postgres. It needs to understand the domain of Postgres. So we don't need to solve AGI to be able to create an auto-tuning system. So human beings like us in history have been really, really good at solving problems that have been always considered like impossible. And one of my favorite examples is the Google autonomous driving car project. So think about a decade ago, everybody was saying, this is impossible. We're not going to solve this. And today, there are 5 cities in the US. This is expanding to New York City. This is expanding to Tokyo and Japan as well. And for me, once that we define these KPIs, whether you're doing it manually or you're doing it without the tuning, you really need to stick with those KPIs and you need to deliver on that promise. That's a contract that the user is making with the tuner. The tuner can be a manual tuner or an auto tuner. Okay, so in the same way, Waymo is really redefining what's possible in the transportation industry. I think that there is an opportunity here in this community to redefine what's possible in database performance, to define a system that is not only effective for tuning, but fundamentally safe. Thank you.
Let's give 1 minute to your team member.
In a sense, this debate is similar to the previous one about Kubernetes. On one side, we want control. We don't want to learn a new technology because it's sufficient where we go. On the other side, there is a way to automate some things and to adopt consistently repeatable practices. And by culture, I tend to be in the field of repeatable. I never had the background picture on my laptop, but this week I put the TPA team group picture because I like people that make automation software. Now, coming to the point of auto-tuning. Postgres already has auto-tuning. In fact, there are parameters that have been removed in history of Postgres when we found a good algorithm to auto-tune them. Right? So it's not like every revolution, it doesn't happen exactly at the time that we establish, but it starts gradually before and it continues later. In the specific case of maybe car driving, I don't know, but in database tuning, also I don't drive a car, but the databases, I have a bit more experience. An auto-tuning of databases is a especially easy case because on one hand, there is it's a domain where we have a lot of ways to see if we did well or not. So even if we don't understand exactly what AI did, it's easy to measure if there was an improvement. And I think people like surprises when they're positive, It's not like they don't want them. My customers, at least, they do. And
Gianni, we were afraid that the two Italians would run over time, and you're running over time.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry, apologies.
Your
I think
opponents
it's sufficiently funny.
can react to your statements.
So something about people liking surprises. People like surprises, but they want those surprises to continue again and again and again. Then it becomes a routine. And with auto-tuning, you can't have a routine and you're asking it to be again, end users are going to ask you to be stable, have a stable performance. You gave them surprise on Monday. No, now they want it on Tuesday as well, Thursday as well, Wednesday, and it becomes like stable performance improvement. That's one point. And second point, I forgot to mention that if we don't win this debate, then Skynet takes over and humanity is extinct by 2125.
Okay. Guy, do you want to add to that existential dread?
Yeah, okay. Indeed, Judgment Day, I don't know. A good point that you just told us, because the Google Drive over there, or the car, was driving autonomously, but was it the most effective way and the most secure way and the most fast way? Will there be a car in Formula One? I don't think so yet, because the software, they have to decide what to do, and it will take time and it will take resources to decide what is the best. So I'm not going to buy that car yet, and certainly not at 200 kilometers an hour, because that will be dangerous. So I still have, or I want, to have the control of my car also. So that was a very good point to say that the car was there, but again, it was maybe not the most optimal way to do that. I agree with the monitoring tool, because we need, and we probably all have monitoring tools, yeah, but also trending tools. And there we have the KPIs, and we need them, yeah. But I don't want that software will decide, because the software, again, doesn't know on the complete environment what happened. We are not talking only about a Postgres database. That's our favorite database, yeah. But there is also operating system. There is also networking. There is also storage, and also the software somewhere on a different server. And we don't have a complete overview about that whole system. So if we're going to tune, there is only the Postgres that we can tune. And I think we can better work together with the developers or with the software vendors to see what the overview is and what will be released in the new version. And then be proactive and tackle the performance issues.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm not sure I'm fully following this safety aspect of autonomous driving cars. I thought the example I was trying to make is this was a project that was considered impossible 10 years ago. Today it's totally possible in also quite messy cities. Okay, and it's way safer than doing manual driving. Okay, so that was the point I was trying to make. Anyway, so the point I wanted to kind of stress out a little more is in everything I heard here, there is nothing really fundamental that hinders automation in this space. There is nothing really that you cannot engineer. It's a complex problem. It's a very complex problem. In the same way, the Waymo car project was a very complex project, but there is nothing that is fundamental that cannot be solved with some really hard work and a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, I think so. And to continue on that sort, right? We have a lot of difficult problems to solve. Tuning parameters is not necessarily one of them, but there are lots of ways to use brain power of experts, which is not repeating the tuning 1,000 times if they have 1,000 different databases. Plus, I think sometimes what prevented us from automating more in Postgres is that it's difficult to find the actual formula, the actual rule, the actual algorithm. And if we find the rule, it will not be put into Postgres unless we can prove that it's optimal, because we cannot put in Postgres a decent but not perfect rule. We cannot automate it unless it's the best. And I think AI has really this quality to be able to optimize things even without understanding exactly how they work, especially when you have a way to measure if your optimization was positive. So in a sense, I see it as the same way we don't deploy things by hand anymore, right? Even, Kubernetes is a declarative system where you specify what you want to get, and then you let the system find out. But even the query optimizer, you write select, you don't write to do this, do that. That's the optimizer that takes all these decisions. So we already delegate a lot to the machine. And I fear that we shouldn't have a ideological fear prevent us from delegating the last bit.
I want to take a quick temperature check of the room. Has anyone changed their minds after listening to these opinions? Okay. Interesting. I will not ask in which way. I explained the polar model before. I think we need to come to some sort of consensus. That's very important here in the Netherlands. So I'd love for you to quickly collaborate on a statement, an ending statement for this debate. And time is up. Yeah. Who wants to?
Well,
I trust you have a. Yes,
it looks like
the doctor. Oh, excuse me for not titling you correctly.
No, but I'm
less doctor.
Right. Okay, I'm the most doctor, so I'm talking. Right, so in some sense, debating is great, but I feel that there is quite a lot of overlap between these two here and these two here. And I think that we want the best for Postgres. We want to do it safely. And we're conscious that now in 2025, there are a number of things that can be fully automated, and we should certainly do that. And maybe there are some things that we should work a little more on. What are those things? Let's brainstorm together and solve them one by one, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for participating in this debate. A first time for PGA Lowlands, so very brave. Thanks again.